What is Swift?
Swift is Apple's main programming language. It was introduced in 2014 to replace Objective-C. Swift is modern, safe, and fast. It helps developers write less code while reducing bugs. For example, Swift automatically prevents many common errors like null pointer crashes. It is also open source, which means it continues to grow with contributions from developers worldwide. With Swift, we can build apps for iPhone, iPad, Mac, Apple Watch, and Apple TV.
What are optionals in Swift?
Optionals allow a variable to either hold a value or be nil. This is important because sometimes we don't have data. For example, imagine a user profile where the phone number is not required. If the phone number is missing, Swift represents it as nil. Using optionals prevents apps from crashing when data is not available. You can safely unwrap an optional before using it.
What is the difference between var and let?
Var creates a variable that can change. Let creates a constant that cannot change. By using let whenever possible, your code becomes more reliable and easier to maintain.
What is the difference between struct and class?
A struct is a value type. This means when you copy it, each copy is independent. A class is a reference type. This means copies share the same memory. Also, classes can inherit from other classes, while structs cannot.
What is arc in iOS?
Arc stands for automatic reference counting. It manages memory automatically. When you create an object, arc counts how many references point to it. When the count reaches 0, arc frees the memory. This helps prevent memory leaks. For example, you don't have to manually call, free, or delete, like in older languages.
What is a delegate in iOS?
A delegate is a design pattern that allows one object to communicate with another. For example, a UI table view uses a delegate to know how many rows to display and what should happen when a row is tapped. This keeps code flexible because one object does not need to know the full details of another.
What is a protocol in Swift?
A protocol in Swift is like a contract or a blueprint. It defines a set of rules that classes, structs, or enums must follow. Protocols don't give the actual code, but they say, if you adopt me, you must provide these methods or properties.
What is the difference between synchronous and asynchronous tasks?
A synchronous task happens step by step. The program waits for one task to finish before starting the next. An asynchronous task runs in the background and allows the program to continue running. For example, downloading an image should be asynchronous so the app doesn't freeze while waiting.
What is GCD in iOS?
GCD means Grand Central Dispatch. It is Apple's system for handling multiple tasks at the same time. For example, you can use GCD to download a file in the background while the user continues scrolling. This makes apps feel fast and responsive.
What is a closure in Swift?
A closure is a block of code that can be stored in a variable or passed as a parameter. It is similar to a function, but shorter. Closures are very common for callbacks, like when a network request finishes.
What is the difference between weak and strong references?
A strong reference keeps an object in memory as long as something points to it. A weak reference does not keep the object alive. If nothing else references the object, it will be removed. Weak references are important to avoid memory leaks and retain cycles.
What is a retain cycle?
A retain cycle happens when two objects strongly reference each other. Since both are holding on, arc, automatic reference counting, cannot free the memory. For example, if a person object strongly references a house, and the house strongly references the person, neither will be released. To fix this, one side should use a weak reference.
What is the difference between frame and bounds in iOS?
Frame is the position and size of a view relative to its parent. Bounds is the position and size of a view relative to itself. For example, if you move a button on the screen, its frame changes. But if you zoom inside the button, its bounds change.
What is MVC in iOS?
MVC means Model View Controller. Model manages the data. View handles the user interface. Controller connects the model and view. This pattern keeps code organized, but sometimes controllers become too large.
HAT is MVVM in iOS?
MVVM means Model View ViewModel. The ViewModel handles logic that would normally sit in the controller. This makes the controller smaller and easier to test. MVVM is often used with reactive frameworks like Combine or RX Swift.
What are extensions in Swift?
Extensions allow you to add new functionality to existing types. For example, you can extend string to add a new method.
What are generics in Swift?
Generics let you write flexible and reusable code that works with any type, instead of writing the same code for each type. This works for integers, strings, or any type, without duplicating code. Generics make your code clean, reusable, and type-safe.
What is key value observing, KVO?
KVO lets you watch changes in a property. When the property changes, other parts of your code get notified. For example, if you observe volume, you can update the UI whenever the user changes it.
What is Notification Center in iOS?
Notification Center is used to send messages inside the app. For example, when the user logs out, you can send a logout notification. Other parts of the app, like the home screen, can listen and react.
What is Core Data?
Core Data is Apple's framework for storing data locally on a device. It is useful for apps that need to save data permanently, like Notes or Contacts. It allows saving, fetching, updating, and deleting data in an efficient way.
What is User Defaults in iOS?
User Defaults is a lightweight storage system. It is best for small pieces of data like login status, theme preferences, or language settings. It should not be used for large amounts of data.
What is the difference between synchronous and asynchronous networking?
Synchronous networking blocks the app until the request finishes. This makes the app freeze. Asynchronous networking runs in the background. The app remains smooth while waiting for the response. Most modern apps use asynchronous networking.
What is the difference between push notifications and local notifications?
Push notifications come from a server, even if the app is closed. For example, a chat message. Local notifications are scheduled by the app itself. For example, a reminder in a calendar app.
What is the difference between UI Table View and UI Collection View?
UI Table View shows items in a single column, like a list. UI Collection View is more flexible. It can display items in grids, carousels, or custom layouts. If you only need a list, use UI Table View. If you want more creative layouts, use UI Collection View.
What are app lifecycle states in iOS?
In iOS, an app does not always stay running in the foreground. It moves between different states. Not running, the app is closed and not in memory. Inactive, the app is running but not receiving user input, such as when a call comes in. Active, the app is running in the foreground and receiving user input. Background, the app is running but not visible. It can still execute some code, like finishing a download. Suspended, the app is in memory but not executing code. This saves battery and resources.
Thanks for listening. If you found this useful, don't forget to like and subscribe.